Gushing over Magical Girls. One of my viewers recommended this one to me, and I watched the trailer when that first came out. A story about a girl who's obsessed with magical girls, but ends up accidentally becoming a villain of them instead. A funny concept. Surely, this'll be a fun, gag, situational comedy, right? Wrong. Avert your eyes! This is an ecchi show! Yes, the point of the story is to be almost porn. It isn't, but it's almost. That means every episode has various moments where the only point is to show off teenage girls' bodies in tantalizing ways. Obviously, I am not the target demographic for this show. I charged in blissfully unaware of the show's true nature. When did it all start to dawn on me? Well, let me lay out the bigger story for you. So, the show starts off with our main character, Utena Hiragi, watching the town's local magical girls. Let's call them Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup. Utena is a big fan of theirs. Of course, who isn't a fan of magical girls, right? In literally no time at all, she's suddenly approached by this little magical dude, and without warning, he gives her the ability to transform herself. When I say no time at all, I mean it. Like literally, it's the 3-minute mark when she starts to transform into her new outfit. She notices her outfit is a tad revealing for a magical girl, and this dude's like, yeah, duh, you're not a magical girl. You've been recruited to be a villain. And thus the story is born. Time for the cute anime opening. Look at all these cute girls. There's so many characters. Oh, well, your outfit sure is something. Wait a minute, And this was when I realized I had made a mistake. Little dude explains that since Utena is an aggressively average person who's often overlooked, and who is obsessed with magical girls, she is a perfect candidate to be a villain. Also, if there are no evil bad guys for the magical girls to fight, then there won't be any need for them anymore. Still hesitant about doing this, little demon dude decides to also just blackmail her into being a villain anyway. The Powerpuff Girls are here, and Utena learns that hitting things with her riding crop, because of course it's a riding crop, can turn them into monsters for the magical girls to fight. Oh, and sorry to interrupt, but have you seen my Magical Girl May merch? Yes, I got lots of options to celebrate magical girls. They're all as cheap as Teespring will allow me to make them too. Literally, I'm only making like 11 cents off of these. Teespring keeps the majority of the profits, but there's lots of different options and lots of different styles for you to choose from. So I hope if you're interested, you'll check out my Teespring. There's a link in the description below. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Looks like Utena here is a bit of a sadist and actually might enjoy seeing the magical girls in such precarious positions. The girls have a passive magical ability that makes them unrecognizable while transformed, so that's how none of the students recognize each other in and out of costume. Now that we've established our status quo, it's time for Utena to meet her other villainesses. Kiwi. Hi, what's your superpower? America. What? Kiwi fights the magical girls because she thinks she's the cutest and doesn't want them getting all the attention. Utena says she thinks Kiwi is really cute, so now, of course, Kiwi is super in love with Utena. A classic love triangle, am I right? That's not the only thing shaking up the system. Looks like Bubbles over here might also be a little too into getting Utena's BDSM treatment. Meanwhile, Buttercup is acting more and more aggressive than one might expect from a magical girl. Also, turns out the magical girls have their own little demon dude. This one's Valentine's Day flavored. Valentine over here acts more like a manager for the magical girls, kind of like their idols or something, setting up photo shoots and stuff. Time to add another new member to the villains team. This is Korisu, a little girl. Yup. That's the decision they've made for the show. She has the ability to trap people into a dollhouse and can manipulate them and use her toys to fight them. And even though she is a little girl, she's just as hyper horny for these magical girls as the others. By the way, have you seen that I also sell stickers? And I've been making stickers of all the magical girls I've covered across the last few years of Magical Girl May, including one of Utena. So if you really like the show, you can get a sticker of her. Wow! I'll be updating my Teespring to include more characters that I haven't finished yet, so keep your eyes peeled if you're waiting for someone specific. And if you want to catch up on all those past Magical Girl May videos, there's a handy-dandy playlist for you, linked in the description and in the iCard. Kurisu literally puts Kiwi into horny jail. I think that sentence sums up the show pretty good, actually. Kurisu joins the team close to the halfway point of the story, which might surprise you given how brief my description of the show has been so far. That's because there's just really not that much to say, at least plot-wise. Each episode has 2 fights, if we can call them that, which I will admit, it's impressive they can have so much action in their shows and have it all be consistently well animated too, but because big chunks of screen time are dedicated to the fights, that means there's just not a lot of time for the development of the story or characters. The character with the most development so far has been Buttercup here. She starts out seeming like a proper ladylike magical girl, but as the episodes have progressed, it becomes more and more apparent that she's incredibly rude, mean-spirited, and always itching to pick a fight. But as a whole, the show is kind of just boring, and I'm not the only one feeling that way. Bubbles over here has continually gotten caught in Utena's traps, and it's gotten to the point where the villains are getting kind of bored of her always being out of the fight. Even the manager, Valentine, is grilling her about this. Sorry, boss, I just can't concentrate. Bitch, what do you think I'm paying you for? Gotta keep up appearances. You gotta get your head in the game, kid. Determined to do better, she fights Utena, but ends up once again getting caught and just can't deny it any longer. Turns out Utena's super not into this though. She likes her magical girls to act like proper magical girls, and is pissed that Bubbles would so easily turn to the side of evil. But we don't have time for that. Time to introduce even more villains. Loco, Shark Girl, Nun Lady, and Big Boss. They're like actually evil villains and want to actually dominate the world. They're not happy with how Little Dude and the Horny Squad have handled their villainous activities, so they decide they're just gonna go do their own thing and dominate the world on their own. Nun Lady dives in to fight, and it seems like it's actually going to be a real fight. No instantly getting caught in horny traps, an actual magical girl battle.
I like 'em big, I like 'em chunky.
No! Foiled again! The Horny Squad manage to escape and have newfound determination to crush the 4 villain generals. Loco goes out to fight the Horn Dogs, but Utena's too banged up from the escape before, so it's just Kiwi and Kurisu. Loco explains she wants to dominate the world so she can be the #1 pop idol.
Honey, that wasn't even the melody, sweetie.
She doesn't even know it's not the melody.
Can I try something else, please?
No, baby, you can't sing. This is not.
But you know what? It happens. This is a real fight. This is an actual fight that I wanted. There's no fetish thing, no clothes getting ripped off, nothing. It's an actual fight. It's short, but it's here. Of course though, while that one fight is horny-free, the show goes right back to it afterwards. And can I say that I also have other kinds of merch at my store, not just magical girl themed things. Here's a couple of my favorites. Wow, isn't this one cool? I'm really proud of this one. There's a link in the description to my Teespring in case you want to see any of the things I have to offer. Loco and Sharky team up to fight the Horny Squad. Loco can shoot flaming musical notes with her voice, and Sharky can control things caught in her shadow. The Horn Squad's able to lock up Sharky, and then there's shenanigans that involve Loco getting naked for no real particular reason. Anyways, once she's naked, she starts to sing actually really good now, and the other girls all think her singing's great, so everyone's friends now, I guess? Funny enough, during all this time, the real magical girls were all off training on a mountain. Bubbles took what Utena said to heart and is trying to get stronger. But because they're all so busy with that, the only ones actually fighting the monsters attacking the town are the Horny Squad of villains who want to stop the Big Boss's plans of world domination. So, Utena goes to fight the Big Boss while Sharky, Loco, and Kurisu fight the monsters, and Kiwi fights Nun Lady. Time for Kiwi to reveal her super secret powerful technique. Cat! I guess? Because we all know, guns are weaker than cats. She's able to beat Nun Lady, but looks like the others are in over their heads, until Well, look who finally decided to show up again. Looks like all that off-screen training has paid off. Bubbles has evolved into a new, much more powerful form, but she's not the only one. Utena, bored by Big Boss's plans for world domination, unlocks her own new form and she beats Big Boss. Though it's revealed afterwards while the horny squad are celebrating that little demon dude might be a tad more in control of things than he might let on. Well, we beat the bad guys, so that means the show's over, right? Well, actually, there's still 2 episodes left. I'll make it quick. The Horny Squad take over the villain's lair. Beach episode, Horny Shenanigans. So guys, we did it. We've actually done it. We watched porn for the plot. I'm not really sure what to say about gushing over magical girls. I guess I can definitively say that everyone's designs are very cute, and the animation quality was surprisingly high and consistent all throughout. I've seen lots of shows that have dips in quality during the middle episodes, but this one was always playing at 100%. And while the majority of the combat was focused on doing something horny, towards the end there, we got some real battles between the villains and our horny squad, and those fights were actually kind of interesting. The development of the characters is minimal, but there is something there. We watch Utena slowly opening up to the others around her, becoming more confident in herself. We watch Bubbles figuring herself out and evolve into her supercharged form. There's a mini plot, I didn't really talk about it, where Kiwi learns to fight smarter. So like there's things there, you know, minimal, but they are there. Aside from all those pesky panty shots and boob stuff, the show wasn't that bad. I don't really have much to say about the ecchi stuff. I don't really care. I guess if you are interested in that part of the show, at least there's something different every episode. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, but it really is, at its core, a love letter to the idea of magical girls. I mean, Utena is kind of in love with them for a reason. It's a goofy way to flip things on its head when it comes to magical girl content, but I do have to admit, at the end of the day, this one's hard to recommend. For, you know, obvious reasons.
You're my friend now. We're having soft tacos later.
Well, with my leadership and your skills, I believe we have everything we need.
Shout out to my $10 patrons, you're all amazing. Andrew, Valhalla Knight, Chamomile, Classy Critic, Noah Perkins, Sunny Shy, Genital War Thunder, Jake, Amber, Hype Man, Isaiah, Scaring Crows, Not All That Evil, Messiah Complex, Jacob, Ben's Sketchbook, The Watcher, Omega Fighter, Trash, Wild Pilot, Josh, Gino, Twisty, Juan, Bunkin Duncan, Alpha 99, and Hoodie Angel. Thank you for watching. I figured I would do this after I realized what kind of show this show was. I figured I would do it because now you can get the story without having to sit through all the parts that you don't want to have to sit through if you're not interested in that stuff. If you've seen the show, what do you think? If you haven't and just watched my review, what do you think? There's a lot going on. Surprisingly. Any and all thoughts and opinions, I'd love to see them. It's a weird way to kick off Magical Girl May for 2024, but it's gonna be an interesting one, I promise. So, I'll see you next time with more Magical Girl content, and I promise it won't be like this again. Bye-bye.